Okay, it is 9:26 a.m. December the 2nd, and I think just to make my videos look a little more organized, I'm gonna add like this color coding, and I might have like the same color for every month, or maybe even every week, and then this like slightly darker color. This is like a weekly recap. It was pretty organized. I like how all of them would just line up perfectly until Thanksgiving, so I wasn't trading every single one of those days, and then that kind of, I guess it's gonna start all over from here or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just so the videos just look a lot nicer to look at, just so they don't look kind of crazy on the eye. If it has maybe like different colors, it might look a lot nicer. Anyway, as for the setups today, I'm going to be focused on OTCs, of course. This one's actually a new runner, and I will be watching this if it can do some kind of high or low setup off of VWAP perhaps. I would not want to trade this if it has a panic, although recently there's a really high chance that it might do something like that. I'm going to be focused on morning panic bounce plays with these OTCs right here, except for LWUV, of course, as well as anything else that might show up on the other watch list with a $30 risk level. And then after that, if I don't see any setups with OTCs or anything like that, I'll also be looking at listed stocks for inverse head and shoulders. So that's what I have for right now, and let's see if we have any setups. Okay, it is 9:39 a.m. I just got out of a trade with CYBL, and as for the other ones, I guess IOUS could do something and maybe hold this 35 level, but it's not that ideal. It dropped from 38 to 36. So what, that's like 4%? That's not very much. It could bounce from here though. I don't like the size on the ask. It could try to do something. I don't mind if I miss that one. As for AABB, this one's a bit choppy. What is this? This is from, I guess, 1735 was the close. So am I gonna get tricked like CYBL? I think on Monday, 17 to 16 basically. That's like 6%. I guess it kind of made a move already. There was a time to come back, from that panic bottom here, these two candles, and be in the setup. So this one can try to do something. I just don't like the way the daily chart is. It's not that clean looking. As for CYBL, I actually did not trade a $30 risk just because this one failed consistently. The past two times that I traded it, it wasn't good at bouncing. The first one was like a fake morning panic bounce play, and then the one that I traded the other day, that one didn't work out either. So that's why I didn't really necessarily trade a $30 risk level. I traded 20,000 shares, and I was in, this was a level 2 reversal. I was in at 19.1. I was 935 right here. 19.1, actually not even the best entry. The level 2 turnaround was pretty quick, but it did it. It just briefly broke under 19, but it wasn't able to stay under 19, and yeah, there was a lot of support. It pushed it up. People were hitting the ask. I was in at 19.1, so actually not even the best entry price, but I sold 5,000 shares immediately. Yeah, the same minute actually at 19.4, because this thing was a nice move. Sold at 19.4, 5,000 shares, and then I sold another 5,000 shares later the same minute. And then at 9:36, I sold 5,000 more shares at 19.4. There was a big wall of people at the ask at 19.5. Eventually, a million share seller showed up, and I guess he wasn't taken out, and it led to this downtrend. I'll be watching this downtrend for a level 2 reversal, maybe to trade a higher low in this point right here. There's still sellers at the ask. And then I sold two pieces of 2,500 shares. Since I'm going to be paying commissions on OTCs, I might as well use it right now and have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freaking exits while I still can. And that was me selling at, I guess it was 19.45, and that was at 9:37 right here. And then 9:39 I sold the last piece when it had that million share seller show up. So this thing can try to turn around here, although probably trade even smaller, honestly. Even something tiny like this. I don't like the size of the people on the ask, but if people are showing that they're willing to buy it up, it might not be bad. I'll make an update later, but I'll be watching this. Alright, it is 9:46. I missed the turnaround. It was a bit quick. As you can see, it kind of had a gap too. It's right at the goal actually at 195, which is VWAP, and there is still a lot of people who are supporting it on the way up there. So yeah, this could have been a profitable setup for sure. I could have been in at 191. Right now it's at 195 by 194. Maybe not much money because the size isn't there, but again, I don't necessarily want to trade that large on CYBL because it just hasn't been working. Let's see if somebody hits. Somebody's probably going to hit 196. That's nice. I don't know, maybe that's my fault. Maybe I shouldn't do recordings right after the morning panic bounce play, because then I missed the higher low, lower low setup, just like I did yesterday, honestly, with TGGI. But that's nice. Wow, I'd be trying to sell it like right into here. It just seems a bit excessive. I'd probably be dumping my shares at 198, and even with 10,000 shares, I would be up like $7. That's a nice move. Wow, and it even got the 2. They're really trying to make this move, and look how little the volume is too. Yeah, I would be out, you know, everything, even if it goes to 28 by the end of the day. You know, I'd be out everything here. You know, I could be like, oh yeah, let me wait for a first, you know, red candle or something like that, but I would have already been out because this just literally jumped on air once, twice. I guess maybe they're trying to do a reversal day right at the support level too, which makes sense. Yeah, I'd be out already at like this 19.9 level or whatever it was. Definitely at 2 pennies. Let me just calculate what my risk reward was, just out of curiosity. Again, I didn't necessarily want it to be a full $30 risk level trade because it didn't work the past few times. So 20,000 shares at 19.1. $382, and I was in at 935 right here, 191, not the best entry. I normally get a lot better, you know, entries near the bottom, but that's fine here. And I would have cut it if it would have broken this wick here at 187. You know, you could say, oh, you probably get out at 185 with slippage, but I like to play it safe. Worst case, big panic, I get out at 18. So 382, 360. So I was trading a $22 risk level actually. I wasn't, you know, I actually wasn't that far from $30. So I guess if I wanted to have been closer, I would have traded 25,000 shares, right? And that's 18 to 191. Yeah, that would have been $27. This is really cool. This is best case scenario on the morning panic bounce play, higher low, lower low, double bottom. Almost best case. Actually, best case would be if it breaks this level right here, and then it goes green on the day, and then it goes a bit more. But this looks like best case scenario. I guess it went from, if you want to be exact, 19 to 20, 19 to 21. So what? That's like 10% right here. This is a 10% move. Best case scenario, it breaks this level, and it's green on the day, like 5 or 8%. But this is already super nice, and I would have sold this way too early, but you know, this isn't something I've seen in a really long time. I'm actually happy I'm seeing this because, like, the last morning panic bounce play trades I've been doing recently just don't offer that much range and opportunity. But now this is actually different. And even with my setup, I guess I'm up like 2% on that trade, right? That's super nice. I hope all of you guys who are watching this can learn this setup, or at least see how it works in theory, and how I was interested in trading it when it was at this level right here. I just missed my entry, and then I didn't want to chase it. Obviously, if I knew it was going to 21, it wouldn't have mattered getting in at 19.3 instead of 19.1. But you know, a lot of these recently would only get to VWAP or maybe slightly above it, like 198. So 193 to 198, that's not really good range to be chasing. And then, you know, it doesn't work out, so then you're really in trouble because you're paying a premium for being, you know, at not an ideal price. So that's nice. This thing is green on the day. Let's see if it can be like up 5 or 8% on the day. Super profitable move there. ILUS is down 10%. So yeah, this thing failed. There's nothing I'd want to do with this here. It doesn't look clean. This one did not fail. I'm actually happy this OTC runner is having a proper second day. Maybe I will open an account with Fidelity and trade OTCs there, you know, without paying commissions. If this thing does a dip under VWAP and bounces and then plays off of this range again and comes back under VWAP, makes a higher low, I'll trade that. At this point, I'm going to look at listed stocks, see if there's any moves there, any inverse head and shoulder setups I'd like to trade there, and I'll make an update later. Alright, it's only like a few minutes later, but I just wanted to show this. This thing just had dude, it just had like these, look at this red candle action. No wonder people think like OTCs are, and you know, penny stocks are risky and, you know, random. All of this run up it has, sketchy run up, jumps on air, actually jumped here on air too, so it jumped on air once, twice, 3 times. I guess some idiot just put a market order on CYBL just because he's like, oh, derp, it's right at the bottom, here's support here, let's throw in some money, and he just got his shares executed because he didn't put a freaking limit order right or something like that. I have no idea. Just shot it up. Market maker just played this guy and brought it all the way back to this right here with all this volume. That is crazy. That is really crazy. That is so funny. I'm not going to try to consider buying this for like a dip, even though there is a wall of support trying to play this setup at 195. You could, you know, try to get in. And yeah, there's that gap right there. Now it's at 2. But that's sketchy, man. This thing is just floating. The price action is just freaky. I like watching it, but I'm not going to trade it, but I'm certainly going to learn from it. So just wanted to record that, all of that run up that it did there. 2 red candles. Now I don't feel that bad, you know, with my theoretical sell at this 19.9 level. That is funny. Okay, it is 5:36 p.m. and I am here to call it off. I stopped really looking at the market after it did that crazy spike here, and it kind of went back under VWAP, and I'm up maybe I think $7 something, $7 something dollars for trading the morning panic bounce play, which doesn't look like anything anymore compared to this move right here, which was a higher low that jumped on air 3 times. And I feel a bit salty because, you know, this did do an inverse head and shoulders around that 11 a.m. level, but it wasn't necessarily down like 15-20% on the day. At least I don't think it was, so maybe it wasn't too bad, but it looks like it's trying to do some kind of reversal. At least it did one here. And that was the inverse head and shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder here under VWAP. It breaks VWAP, a little bit of a baby higher low. Another crazy spike, which would have been kind of massively scary to hold through. So honestly, I don't mind that part too much. And then as for OWUV, I am salty because I did miss this one right here. It did do like a, you know, afternoon breakout over the day highs, and that could have been something super nice to be a part of. As for the other ones, ILUS did offer a morning panic bounce play, which was cool, I guess, but I just didn't really like the way it looked, and that's fine. TGGI did a panic, but I wouldn't have traded this one because it was later in the day, and nothing here with AABB. Overall, that's it. I just, again, a little salty because I did miss out on that CYBL setup as well as OWUV, but I'm happy this thing is having an actual second day. So, and you know, ideally, if it can do 3 days in a row and then it has something that looks clean for a morning panic bounce play. If I'm gonna still be able to trade those, that could be something that I would be interested in trading. That's all I have, just $7. Could have had 2 more setups, but at least the setup I did take wasn't really bad at all. I actually did pretty good selling that, I think.